At the conference organised by the OSCE, former Italian Prime Minister Romano Prodi said that Albania's integration into the EU should be accelerated. Mother Teresa Hospital saw an influx of hundreds of patients yesterday due to the floods and a malfunction in the referral system, causing chaos at the hospital. Currently on a visit to Italy, the Mayor of Tirana held an open meeting at the University of D'Annunzio to discuss models for the development of cities. Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Wednesday, the 6th of December 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, bringing you the day's national top stories translated into English 6 days a week. After 1997, when he visited Albania for the first time, former Italian Prime Minister Romano Prodi said that the country has made great progress. Commending Albanians for their collaborative efforts with the international community, the former Italian Prime Minister said the pace of integration in the European Union needs to be hastened. The steps towards integration should be accelerated, stated Romano Prodi. The head of the OSCE presence in Albania, Bernd Borchardt, praised the role of the OSCE in Albania over the years, saying that our country has already made great steps forward. Only 20 years ago, Franz Vranitzky and the OSCE presence came here to support the reconstruction of Albania. Today, we are far from what was the situation of those days. Albania has progressed a long way ahead, although still great challenges remain, said Borchardt. The Austrian ambassador in Albania, Johann Sattler, borrowed two Albanian expressions to show the role of foreigners in our country and the responsibility that Albanians themselves have to build the country. Shqipëria will be made by Shqiptarët, said Johann Sattler. The Dean of the University of Tirana praised the role of internationals in carrying out important reforms. The internationals must be commended for the key role they take in ensuring the success of reforms, said the Dean. The OSCE conference on the role of internationals in Albania's transitions aims to stimulate further study in this area, bringing more contribution from academics and inspiring broader political debate. The Assembly will launch a ballot for the selection of members to be selected for the Council of the Appointment of Judges on Wednesday. However, the Democratic Party wants to postpone the process on the grounds that it is unconstitutional. In a letter to the Speaker of Parliament, the chairman of the Democratic Party parliamentary group, Edmond Spaho, said that the Socialist Party's purpose is to take control of the new justice bodies. A constitutional and legal vacuum is being carried out because, in the absence of the High Judicial Council and the High Council of the Prosecutor's Office, transitional provisions are being used and they have lost their power. The Provisional Council for Appointment of Justice was elected in January 2017 under the transitional provision, but this provision cannot become a general rule, said Edmond Spaho. In the letter addressed to the Assembly, the President and the main embassies in the country, the Democratic Party says that the Speaker of the Parliament has acted flagrantly against the Constitution and legal powers, dictating to the independent bodies a deformed application of the law. The President of the Assembly has avoided the legal criteria applied in the January 2017 ballot, as agreed upon by all independent institutions. The law sets out 8 criteria for the candidates aimed at increasing quality. Among the criteria is the completion of the School of Magistrates, said Edmond Spaho. Regarding this issue, the Democratic Party requires the opinion from the Council of Legislation in the Assembly. He added that the activity of the Provisional Council for Appointments in Justice was intentionally blocked by the majority so that this institution could not perform the constitutional evaluation process for the candidates of the High Inspectorate of Justice and for the members of the Constitutional Court. On the second day of his visit to Italy, the Mayor of Tirana, Erion Veliaj, held an open meeting at the University of D'Annunzio in the Abruzzo region, with students, entrepreneurs and administrators discussing the development models of cities. Accompanied by the chairman of Tirana's City Council, Aldrin Dalipi, Mayor Veliaj made a presentation about Tirana's metamorphosis, focusing in particular on the work and development that the Albanian capital has undergone in the last 2 years. We have decided not to repeat the mistakes of the past. It's not enough to simply solve the emergencies of the moment. We need to invest in the future. We have decided to build a sustainable development model for the city to face the needs of the present without endangering the needs of the future. We must not act with the thinking that there is no future after the end of our mandate. We must invest in a Tirana for the coming generations, declared the Mayor in his speech. Veliaj stressed that the municipality of Tirana, besides investments in urban infrastructure, has paid special attention to developing innovative solutions for the facilitation of access to services for citizens. What does it take to make the city better? Economy, services and infrastructure, no doubt, but also innovation, creativity, art, culture and protection of the environment. For the first time in the history of Tirana, we have decided to consider these elements as strategic investments for the future of the city. We started our work by building a new relationship with our citizens because when you bring on such a change, it is necessary to ensure the citizens are involved. This is especially true for young people and children who, based in our experience, are not only those who embrace change more rapidly, but they are also the biggest supporters of new ideas, said Veliaj. During his stay in Italy, the Mayor of Tirana, accompanied by the President of the region of Abruzzo, Luciano D'Alfonso, also paid a visit to the Arborish community there. I believe that the existence of the Arborish community is also a great compliment to Abruzzo and Italy. Albanians are everywhere, but they have not found an open door at every place or a welcoming community like here. I think it is a compliment to Italy, which is considered a country with an open mind and heart. I believe that the Arborish communities honour both sides. They have taken the best of Albania, the best of Italy, and they have built a community that is a great example for all. The head of the Swiss Embassy's mission, Philipp Keller, has called for anti-flooding projects and guaranteed funding for them during a meeting with the Mayor of Leja, Fran Frocai. Citing the fact that Leja is one of the risky areas, Keller said that investing in this direction would provide greater protection against floods and natural disasters. The main purpose is protecting the city and residents from disasters and floods. You are a part of our future plans, so we expect projects to provide solutions to these problems, said Keller. Mayor Frocai said that the municipality of Leja is in financial difficulties following the floods, as the City Hall was unprepared as a result of the territorial reform. Leja has some areas confirmed as endangered by floods, so preventative measures are certainly necessary. Medical centres were thrown into chaos yesterday, with the stressful situation resulting in many doctors threatening mass resignations. Following the recent flooding, an unusual influx of patients was seen flocking to seek help from medical staff at regional hospitals. Also, due to a malfunction in the referral system, significant numbers of patients were unnecessarily sent to Mother Teresa Hospital. As the situation first arose, 13 doctors dealt with the first cases of various health problems in the reception, and over the next 24 hours, hundreds more arrived looking for assessment and care, with doctors warning that they would resign if the issue was not addressed. The hospital's administration said that work is now proceeding normally in the emergency, ensuring that the problem within the system is solved. They added that patients and their family members should not blame doctors or raise doubts about the quality of their work or commitment. Instead, they should be commended for their hard labour during an unserviceable influx. Doctors simply cannot cope with such a level of multiple cases, said the patients' family members. Witnesses attest that injections were being received by patients in chairs in corridors, adding that they think hospital capacities must be increased. One citizen who was attending the hospital with their family member stated, "You could see people receiving injections right there in the corridor." Following the public reaction, Emergency Chief Edmond Zaimi has confirmed that the doctors will not be departing from their duties and has pledged to improve the emergency services. Tirana is one of the 2 cities in Europe selected by the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development for the drafting of the Green City Action Plan. This action plan consists of the addition of green spaces and urban development planning in order to avoid undesirable situations such as floods. Giving a speech on the matter, Veliaj said that the floods were not just a natural disaster, but also a form of revenge against humans and the way we have misused the environment. The recent events are nature's way of getting revenge for a collective misuse of the planet, said Erion Veliaj. The Mayor declared the statements by political representatives for the opening of Bovilla Dam and the reservoirs to be irresponsible. Declarations for the opening of dams are a political irresponsibility, said Erion Veliai. He went on to add that Tirana is now safe from the threat of flood, referring to projects realised in the past 2 years. The city is safer thanks to the investments we have made these 2 years, said Erion Veliai. In a further attempt to improve the environmental situation in Tirana City, the municipality is also working with public transport companies to upgrade to electric buses. That's all for our English edition this evening. My name is Alexandra. Please join me again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. On behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.